Okay, we're gonna finish this Gemara, which was a explanation of Rabbah concerning the machlokes between Reb Meir, who is the Tanakama, and Reb Yehuda, which is the second opinion in the Mishnah. And it was discussing if a bottle or a jar breaks in Rosh Hashanah and someone gets hurt from the broken pieces. Reb Meir said that you're always chayiv, and Rabbi Yehuda said it depends if you're miskaven or not. Well, we asked the question, what does it mean if you're miskaven? Well, Rabbi said it means miskaven means that if you had some sort of negligence as you were taking it off your shoulder, you should have been more careful. But if you're just walking around and it fell by accident, so then you would be potter according to Rabbi Yehuda. And so Abaya says, does that mean that the Reb Meir holds that you're chayiv even in an accident? He says yes. Reb Meir holds you chayiv even if you're still holding on to the handles. So it was like a manufacturer's defect, and it just collapsed. And obviously, it's not your fault. Nevertheless, Reb Meir holds you chayiv. Okay. Now, I just want to show you a little outline over here. This is Rabba's explanation. I put up here Rabba's explanation. Let me move this thing away if I can. Whoops. Rabba's explanation is the Tanakama, which is Reb Meir, holds chayiv even if it broke by accident. And Rabbi Yehuda holds only chayiv if you're miskaven to take it off your shoulder. So the Gemara asks a question on Rabba, why should you be chayiv? I see what's going on. Oines Rachmana Patre. In red, because it's a question. Oines, the Eibishter, the Rahmana, the merciful one, says that you're potter if you didn't do it on purpose. So Gemara says, well, maybe we can answer that there's a nafkamina, there's a difference between if it was concerning death, where over there in Oinus you're going to be potter, we don't put you to death, but for Nizakin, you should have to pay for it. Let's erase that yud over there. But for Nizakin, you should have to pay for it, and we gave a nice logic for it that Nizakin at least you can repair what the damage was done, even though you didn't do it on purpose. But for death, there's no repairing. Well, now we're going to learn the brisa that says it's impossible to make that difference. Okay, let's see the bright side. So the actual difference between death and damages concerning if it's an accident, if it's impossible to control such a circumstance, that you should be chayiv by nizak, and that starts from over here, from v'chitema. But we're going to start from v'hatanya. How could you say that difference? V'hatanya, but we learned in a brisa. It's actually a compound word. V'hatanya means but. We learned in a brisa. V'hatanya, but we learned in a brisa. Tanya is always a brisa. Nishbara kadai, if someone's kad breaks. Kadai is actually his kad. If his kad broke, v'loi silka, and he did not remove it. Nafal gamalai, if his camel fell, v'loi hamidai, and he did not lift it up. Reb Meir mechayev behezekon. Reb Meir would say that you're chayev in the damages that it caused. The Chachamim say that pater midine yadam, that you're pater from the court, the judgment of man. The chayev b'dine shemayim, but you're going to be chayev from the court of heaven, in the judgment of heaven. Which means that the Chachamim say that because you're not responsible for that, so you're going to be pater basically for all practical purposes. However, the Reb Meir held that you would be chayiv, and we're going to see what exactly the logic is for that. But whatever the case is, we saw that already in our Mishnah, that if your kad breaks in Rosh Hashanah, Reb Meir says you're chayiv. Okay, now there's three clauses to this Mishnah. We just did the first one, which is the machlokes. The second one is umaydim chachamim l'Reb Meir. There is a case where the chachamim admit. Umaydim means admit, right? The chachamim admit to Reb Meir where you'll be chayiv ba'avnei skinim asoi, if it's a rock, a knife, and a load. His rock, his knife, and his load. Sheinicham b'reish gagai, that he put on top of his roof. Gagai is his roof, right? V'nafla b'ruach mitzuya, and it fell with a ruach. Ruach means a wind, and mitzuya means common. A common wind. V'hiziko, and it caused damage. They admit shehu chayiv, They admit that you will be chayiv in that case. Okay, now here's the real point, and let's underline this so we'll actually get the message strong. Umaydim Rab Meir leRabbanan, and Rab Meir would admit to the Rabbanan. B'male kankanim alagag. Let's just underline the rest, and then we'll go back to write in our notes. Okay. So Rab Meir would admit to the Rabbanan. No, we're looking for a case of putter here. B'mala kankanim. Kankanim is containers. So we'll put in containers. All right. Do I have that clear? Containers. B'mala is to raise up. Raise up. Containers alagag, on the roof. Again, we had that. That's an abbreviation for, let's see if I can write that in there. Al minas. That's a nun. Sorry, it's tight. Al minas means in order. Where can I put that? I'll put it right over here. I don't know if I made it inside the border over there. Al minas, in order. Lenagvan, to dry. Lenagvan is to dry them. So you bring up these containers. It's probably ceramic or something, and you bring it up to the roof to dry. V'naflu baruch she'ena mitzuya. It's a not common wind. It fell down. V'yiziku, and it caused damage. Shehu pater. So Reb Meir agrees that if you have a real accident, that you're going to be pater. Now again, this is an accident which is not concerning death. The punishment for this is not death. This is just a payment. So we see that Oines Rachmana Patre, the fact that the Eibishter makes you pater, the Torah makes you pater, when there's an accident, is not only concerning the death penalty, which that could be an answer for Rabbah. Rather, it's actually concerning damages as well. You're pater for everything. Whenever it's an accident, you're pater. So how could Rabbah say that Reb Meir would hold your chayev when it's an accident? We'll go back to this case. I just want to point this out, that at the beginning, Rabbah said you're chayev when there's an accident. That Reb Meir would hold that you're chayev when there's an accident. Rabbi Yehuda obviously disagrees, and Abaya was mixed into this. How could you say that? And the Gemara says, Einis Rachmana Patre. We try to give an answer. We come back and we say, you can't give any answer because Reb Meir himself holds that you're pater when there's an accident. The interesting thing is, the Gemara doesn't ask this as a contradiction. Here Reb Meir says chayiv when it's an accident. Here Reb Meir says pater when it's an accident. And there's different answers, different possibilities why the Gemara doesn't do that. I just want to bring out the flow of the Gemara. There was a statement made by Reb Meir. Rabbah explains that statement. The Gemara questions the way Rabbah explains it, that you're chayiv on an oinus, and the Gemara gives an answer to the question that you can be chayiv on an oinus if it's damages, and the Gemara says that no, you can't give that answer because we have another case, a different case, where you're pater on oinus according to Reb Meir, even though it's only concerning damages. Okay. Next Gemara that we're going to learn is going to be Abaya's way of learning this machlekes between Reb Meir and Rabbi Yehuda.